Any professional artists, or especially anybody at a museum who deals with archival quality stuff, might want to turn their heads here. I'm none of those, and I'm going to just make this up as I go along. This was that test painting that I did a couple of weeks ago when I was testing out the paint splatters when I did that easel, and I just find I kind of like it and I wanted to keep it, but it's going to get destroyed if I just leave it just taped around this piece of wood. So I'm going to make a frame for it and hang it on the wall with my other stuff. Now this board is too thick, so I have a piece of plywood that is big enough, and I got some spray adhesive for attaching the paper to the plywood. I thought about doing epoxy, but I might still do epoxy. We'll see what happens at the end of the video. And last time I made frame stock, I made extra, so I got a bunch of pieces of a nice frame that I probably shouldn't waste on this, but I'm going to because it's my shop. Okay, so what am I going to do first? Do I first want to make the frame? Now this is just cheap craft paint, but I still like it. So I don't want to wreck it. And there are the creases. This paper is really thin. I almost wonder if I should make a backer for it. Wouldn't that be interesting? Yeah, I think I will. Okay, I'm back. My not sponsored by Rona. We just happen to have a lot of these nice, slightly heavy pieces of paper that my wife got at some point. So, which will give me a nice backing board. There we go. Scrap, scrap, scrap. Here we go. This is some spalted maple left over from the cafe cart. I'm using it as scrap. I bet some people are just screaming. Yeah, that's you, Dustin Penner. You guys living in Edmonton who can't get nice hardwood without paying through the nose. Or Jay Bates, who's got to drive 3 hours. So, here's that painting. So it has all these crease marks from where it was wrapped around that board. So I'm just going to use those for positioning this piece. Yep, I'm sure this is not archival quality. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But on the other hand, you know, I'm sure my artwork isn't archival quality either. Ha ha ha. There. Now we've translated it to one nice, smooth piece. Now, it's time to get it framed. Got my disposable router table here setting up with a straight bit in because my stock does not have the rabbet yet, which you need. My first big tool was, of course, a table saw, and I didn't get a miter saw for many years. And when I did get a miter saw, it wasn't a particularly great model. It was just a basic miter saw. So I generally do my mitering on a table saw. This is a 45-degree jig. I'm basically copied this from Steve Ramsey, the Woodworking for Mere Mortals. He did a video on this many moons ago. And of course, you should never ever do what I'm about to do. Maybe one of these days I'll actually buy one of those strap clamps. But they're like 50 bucks. And I can never see the sense in spending that money on something that I don't use that often. course, here I am now making another picture frame. Anyways, what you should of course never ever do, I'm going to use a nail gun to put it together. But again, this is for my shop. Nobody's ever going to see it. Makes the tiniest little holes out of the clamps. You know, sometimes I put a reinforcing spline here across the back, but this time I'm just going to trust the glue and the fact that there's already a pin nail in each one. It is not going to get banged around. But really, having the stock already ready from a previous project has made this really quick and simple. And here we go. That drops nice and snug into place. Almost time to put it all together, but let's take this out and get it finished first. Okay. Okay. So there we go, another picture for the wall. The collection sure is growing, and you know, these are just the ones down here in my shop. If you're a woodworker, you're probably going to make lots of picture frames over the years. I'm not even sure how many I've done. And really, yeah, I know there's nothing terribly exciting about today's video, but yeah, that to me is not really the point. To me, the point is come on down and spend some time in the shop, and you know, as I always say, hope you find something interesting and enjoyable, which, yeah, those of you who've made it all the way to the end of the video, I suspect you already know that. I'm just glad that I was able to take something destined for the trash can and turn it into a piece of artwork that I'm happy to have hanging on my walls. So there you have it. That's it for this one, and we'll see you on the next video.